What's up? Devil Young Boy here. Known for such videos as a Stolfo. Today I've got this empty bookshelf. I'm filling it up with manga. Well, I mean we have all this shit down here, but you can just ignore that. I have a whole shelf of fucking shit over here, as I'm sure it's I'm about to put on screen right now. But yeah, no. So problem being, you know, there's a lot of manga I own at the moment. I've bought in the last few months. It's doubling up, and my nan, who is moving house, had this massive bookshelf. So I was like, doubling up on my tiny little bookshelf, big bookshelf. Perhaps I could use that. And so I figured this would be a good video. I've been watching a lot of manga collection videos recently. So I thought, you know what? I'm gonna show off. No, I'm not gonna show off. But I did want to talk about some manga series, perhaps about manga in Australia, just in general, like as a concept, how I get it, how to get it, those kind of things. Thing is, the only thing I'm worried about at the moment is that these got the long ass fucking cord. Their fucking shelves are not very deep. I'm worried I'm gonna run into the same problem as I already had, and I'm either gonna have to double up, or I'm just gonna have to have a shelf over here dedicated to less stuff, and then this shelf dedicated to I don't know if I do end up filling this up, if I'll put like more meaningful series here, or I'll put more meaningful series here. You can't even see my face. If I have more meaningful series over here, chances are I'll have my cam here next to where my desk is. Actually, you know what? I can show you that right now. I've got the fucking OBS up. Let's fucking go. Yeah, so this is my desk right here. But yeah, no, this is the first row. I have shit below this and shit below this as well. I've gotten to a point where I've basically don't really care about putting it in alphabetical order. I've literally put like big volumes here, which also happen to be very depressing. You know, you got Inio Asano, Vagabond, To Your Eternity, All You Need Is Kill, I'm a Hero, Platinum End, One Piece. Basically, you guys can just watch me show off my collection that I've attained in Australia. I don't know how many Australians watch my videos or will watch this video. I may as well just get started with the shit. This will take a while. First series I have right here is Air Gear. Now, I've only just got these recently, so there's not much I can really say about it, considering the fact that there's 37 volumes and I've only got 1 and 2, so that's a bit of a bummer. I saw people online, I think I may or may not be getting 3 and 4 at some point, but yeah, no, this is a very unique concept for a not only an anime but a manga. It's about, what's it called? What's it about? I don't know what the fucking name of the sport is. What is it? Rollerblading. There you go. Or roller skating. Blading. One of the two. Shoes with Beyblades on them. Shoes with wheels on them. Fucking hell. It's a good shonen. It's also got a lot of ecchi in it between the main character's adopted sisters. Or he's the one who's adopted, but you know, still his stepsisters. Bit of a "what are you doing, step bro" kind of vibes from it, but we just met this girl on the cover. You know, you can tell this is a top class culture when this is the cover of his second volume. So if I ever get the chance to buy the rest of these, I'm sure I'll like it a lot. I'm moving my keyboard. I'm sure I'll like it a lot. I definitely do recommend even the first 2 volumes. So yeah. Next I have Arjin. Arjin is a very popular series nowadays because the manga it's gone way ahead of the anime. Personally, I didn't really want to watch the anime because of all the CGI, but I have seen clips and it does look good. But the manga is just something else, really. It's really a lot of more I can say about it without spoiling, other than the fact that the art is amazing, really. Funny thing about this is that it was written by Suina Miura, who then got dropped after volume 1 and replaced by the person illustrating, who is ex-hentai artist, who is a lot better, may I say, a lot better. Ironic, but it's really good. Fuck yes. Next, I'll have Black Cat. This is by far, I haven't finished it yet, which saddens me because it's literally like one of my favorite manga I've ever read. Obviously, if you know the Anime Man, I got this recommendation from him like years ago, and it just so happened that my school library has volume 1 to 6 of Black Cat, so I started reading it. And then I got sick. I haven't read it in about a few months, and then I saw that volume 10 to 12, volume 10 just happened to be where I left off, so I bought volume 10 to 12 because they were the only ones available at Minotaur. Great comic and manga store in Melbourne. So I bought all these are all brand new. Would highly recommend this. I need to continue it. It's got 20 volumes. Maybe after I graduate from school I'll read the rest of it, because nostalgia, I guess, even though I haven't finished it, but you know, that's fine. Next one I have is Manga. I have volume 1 to 3. I bought these all from Minotaur again. Minotaur is a great place for new manga. But yeah, no, I recommend Minotaur for new books. If you can get them secondhand, that's usually better, because Minotaur prices are, depending on how popular a series is, they can vary in price, because these are pretty big books. They're $20. But then I've bought stuff like Konosuba spin-off with Mega Man and Union, and that cost me $23. Minotaur is good because they have a very large variety. Also, alternate worlds have a large variety as well, but they're in Basewater. But either way, those are two great places in Melbourne specifically to buy manga. I've been to a good place in Canberra as well, but I forgot what it was called. I haven't even talked about Biomega. Biomega is by my favourite mangaka of all time, Tsutomu Nihei. Not for this series though, not for this series. This series is good, but his shining work is definitely Blam. Blam is just an amazing series. I wish I had it, but those volumes cost a fuck ton. They have 6 volumes as well, because they were reprinted, and they're like $50 each, which is ridiculous. That's new, and they're rare. So Biomega, another great zombie cyberpunk story. If you know anything about Tsutomu Nihei, he's not the greatest writer, but he was an architectural student, so he can draw really fucking well. Sid Mead levels of drawing, bro. Next I have 2 series I just want to quickly go over. Bloody Monday and Deadman Wonderland. You've probably heard a lot of stuff about Deadman Wonderland. I've only gotten volume 1 to 3. I haven't read that. These are probably some of the first volumes of manga I ever bought. These are all brand new, or they've been brand new, because I bought them new for a while. Demon Slayer just wants to fucking fall over. Basically, nothing I can say about Deadman Wonderland will be different than any other manga YouTuber or anime YouTuber. The manga is just better. The anime kind of flopped a bit. Oh, I don't know if it flopped, because I dropped it after a couple episodes. The manga, really great art style. I assume it gets better beyond the anime. Oh no. I also have Bloody Monday. Another recommendation I got a while ago from the Anime Man. Anime Man may as well just be named the Manga Man. He doesn't watch anything anymore, just gives me great recommendations for manga. But Bloody Monday is a great drama haka story. It's very suspenseful, and it's only been 2 volumes. There's 11 volumes, or yeah, 11 volumes. And what angers me the most actually is that my local bookstore has volume 11, but nothing else. So I have to somehow get like every other volume, and perhaps buy 11 new. I don't know if I want 11 new, but so I might be just selling the rest of them. Also, can I say this Chunyi Singaporean company, I don't understand why they do this. These covers are awful. Maybe it's cheaper to print, but I do not like this. This shit, no good. Holding it fucking falls. Whatever. Next, we have Demon Slayer. I have volume 1 to 6 and then number 12. I bought number 12 new when I went to Minotaur with some of my friends a while ago. I've read 1 to 6. Problem is, my friend has 7 to 11, and he's supposed to have finished it like months ago, and then I was going to buy it off him, but I'm still waiting for him to finish. It's a bit of a pain in the bumhole, not gonna lie. He's editing this video, so he knows. He know this is a call out. Volume 1 to 6, great. Not the it's good because it has a very fast paced manga, and that's good for smooth read. It's almost not as good as the anime, but then again, I haven't read beyond the anime, so I won't know. But you know, 1 to 6 is everything adapted in the anime, so nothing new should come of it, really. My opinion would be the same as any other really manga or even anime YouTuber. So yeah. Now I've got a couple here to clear out my top shelf. I have Hell's Paradise 2 and Immortal Rain. Reason I don't have Hell's Paradise 1, I went out with my cousin to Minotaur, and he bought Volume 2. And I already had Volume 1, and I told him about it, and he wanted to read it, so we swapped, essentially. I don't know when I'm going to be able to give it back. This is before coronavirus and stuff, so I've been hanging on to it for a while. Volume 3, I do plan to buy soon, because Chainsaw Man goes on sale tomorrow, and I was going to buy with that. Not what I expected it to be. I thought it was going to be a little more serious than what came out of it. But it's about this killer who's trained as a kid to basically be a mad as ninja, to not feel pain and whatnot. And he's trialed to death. And instead of receiving death, he basically gets sent to this island that has some sort of elusive material that makes whoever finds it or drinks it immortal. And a bunch of other death row inmates are quested to go to this island and get it for the Shogun. What I thought it was going to be was like a psychological warfare between the death row inmates to decide whether or not they should like get it or whatnot. But what it actually is a lot different. I'm not going to actually say what it is because I want it to be a bit of a surprise for anyone who plans to read it as well. But it does come up in the end of Volume 1. It's a very interesting story. I got my friend to read it, and my cousin. So, and now I have Immortal Rain. I haven't read this yet. Heard it was good. Bought it for like $3. Very cool. I'm gonna have to move all this shit. I'm gonna actually talk about Inyo Asano, all of them right now. Downfall. Downfall is basically just about a manga artist, probably a self-insert, because it does look a lot like Inyo Asano, the main character. It's just about, creative burnout. It's something a lot of YouTubers probably experience. So it's about creative burnout and finding passion to do what you want, even though you hate it. Essentially, you can convince yourself that you hate something, that you don't want to do it, but at the end of the day, you can't separate yourself from it. So that's essentially what Downfall is about. And then there's Dead Demon. I actually started reading Dead Demon before I got to Goodnight Punpun, and that was because actually I don't know why. And it's really good. I wouldn't say as good as Punpun, but even though I haven't gotten through all of Punpun, but I have gone through all of these 4 volumes of Dead Demon. What this does that Punpun doesn't do as well is ironic comedy. This is kind of a comedy series, although it takes itself seriously at times. Like any other Inyo Asano, it's a social commentary, and it's about like what Japan do when they are invaded by seemingly docile aliens. But it just shows the daily lives of some of these high school students, then turning adults, and what they go through on a daily basis. Something I think is alleviated from this is ignorance is bliss, and anyone who thinks they're socially aware, in touch with society and whatnot, they're really just out of it. Yeah, no, depressing, but also funny. Very cool. And then there's Punpun. My friend, who's also editing this video, is probably gonna hate me for this. I've only read the first 3 volumes.
Bruh, fucking read it. I swear to God, that shit is good.
But I can tell that it's good. If you were expecting a hot take on Pun Pun, you were not going to get it. Yeah, from what I've read, very depressing, very real, even though the main character is a very dramatized character, not going to lie. All the other characters make the show. It shows a lot of how society influences people's thoughts, people's behaviors, whatnot. You know, tackles religion, whatnot. Classic Inyo Asano. If you know anything about Inyo Asano, you know that these are great and that these are obviously to be read if you want to get into manga. If you do want to get into manga, I highly recommend Pun Pun, not as an entry level manga, but like if you really want to get into it, Pun Pun is definitely one to grab. Next series I have to go on this shelf is I Am a Hero. This is also a series I have not completed, although I don't have all of the volumes anyways. I've read the first 3 volumes of this. It's very slow paced, and the main character is really dumb. Really fucking dumb. But it's a very intriguing story. Very intriguing. It's very refreshing for a zombie manga, or a zombie story in general, because it's set in Japan, and a lot of what other zombie manga like to amp up is like the violence and the badassery, or like the sexual implications, whatnot. But what this manga does really well is portraying what's more likely to happen in the middle of a zombie apocalypse in modern day Japan, and that is the fact that not many people own guns in the first place. So to suggest that just people walking around, or the military is just walking around with guns, shooting all the zombies whenever they can, is just to believe that they'd be able to handle it as well, or they have something to do with it. It's usually not the case, although this does kind of allude to that, like any other zombie story does. But it's about a manga artist, failed manga artist by the way, very depressed man. Basically goes in the office one day, or goes home, and then the person's a zombie, and he doesn't want to believe it, so he just ignores the fact that there is even any zombies at all, until he's literally felt forced to face it when he meets another fucking human. So it's a very surreal take on the whole thing, even though it's very realistic. If the surrealism is any indication by this cover art, I believe it does get a little bit more surreal. The main character does have visions and whatnot, so it's a lot more psychological than other zombie manga that just like to amp up the action and the edgy. I've seen High School of the Dead, but I haven't read it beyond the anime. I don't really feel the need to, but that is also a good zombie story, but clearly nothing like this. So, you know, if you're interested in that kind of stuff, that'd be good as well. Next that I've taken off the front of these shits just don't want to stay up, I don't know why, is Imperfect Girl. This is by Initiation. It's a manga adaptation of his novel, partially non-fiction. So Initiation basically talks about a not exactly traumatic event from his past, but like a very oddly inspiring event in his life where he was kidnapped, or if I'm being honest, I don't think he was kidnapped, because if he did get kidnapped, I don't know how the fuck he couldn't just leave, because he was apparently kidnapped by like a elementary school child. Through the whole experience, he was not exactly a inspired writer, but after this event and the introduction of this girl in his life, he got suddenly a lot more inspired, which kind of odd. It's probably why there's a lot of small questionable children in the Monogatari series. I've not seen that. Yeah, just from volume 1 I can tell. Obviously he's a good writer. It's a little questionable, not gonna lie. Alright, now I'm back with the mic. I figured I wasn't gonna just sit down there the whole time. These are all stuff that I had to double up. I'm gonna start from here. This is Jumungard. This is a series that I've just started reading. Just started. I have a couple volumes sitting on my side desk here. They just came in recently. It's a lot like Black Lagoon, which is one of my favorite animes of all times. So, and then I saw someone online selling 1 to 5 for $30. All but the first volume were sealed in plastic. So, getting a lot of value out of that. Can't say much about it. It's just straight badass action with a black main character. Black main character. I don't know where he's from. And then a killer Russian girl. I don't know if it's a Russian girl. I'm assuming it's a Russian girl. She has white hair. Not on the level of Balalaika from Black Lagoon, but definitely up there. They're very different characters, but whatever, that's fine. Next, I have Knights of Sidonia. Now, this is another Tsutomu Nihei series. I figured I'd buy volume 1 because it's Tsutomu Nihei, and I have been trying to read all of his stuff. One thing I haven't started reading yet is Aposims and Abara. Although Abara, at some point I plan to get the 2-in-1 because there's only 2 volumes of it. But Aposims doesn't look as good. But anyways, Knights of Sidonia. This is like the only manga by Tsutomu Nihei that has a good adaptation. Although it's all in CGI, so I have my doubts. But this is a very interesting series. It's basically like a mecha manga, but with Nihei's art style and architecture. So that just makes it all the more interesting. The only complaints I have about it is that these volumes are really small. And they cost a lot. And since it's only just finished recently, all the English volumes have not come out yet, I don't think. To find them secondhand would be a blessing, basically. Next is Livingstone. This is a collaboration between a writer named Tomohiro Mayakawa, who is actually normally a playwright. I don't know if any of his stuff is particularly popular in the Western world. I know that he has written for a couple movies in Japan. This is a collaboration between him and the illustrator and writer of A Dead Man Wonderland. So I wanted to pick it up. It's a interesting series. It's only got 4 volumes, and I've only just finished reading it the other day. But this is probably a complaint for other series like it, but it would probably benefit from more volumes. From what I read in like the author notes and the illustrator notes, didn't really sound like they got along or had the same kind of ideas, because the illustrator was like, oh, I thought it was going this direction, but then it was going this direction, and now I suddenly want to do it more. But yeah, it tries to be philosophical about souls and whatnot. Do the souls give us any kind of meaning, or are they just worthless? They don't do anything. Or do we not have souls at all? Essentially, it's about that kind of thing. If you're into that kind of storytelling, I think this would be a good read. I wouldn't recommend buying them if you don't get them for a good price. I was lucky enough to buy these for like $35, all 4 of them. I say lucky. That's like a what? If you live in America, that's like what? 35 for 4 volumes? I will go into that later, but that's a pretty good bargain by Australian standards. Right, next series I have here is Merupuri, Marken Prince. This is a shoujo series. Anyways, next I have My Hero Academia. Obviously, I don't have all of them. I have read up until the physical releases. It's almost at 300 chapters right now, but I am up to, how much chapters is this? I haven't read this yet. I've just bought this the other day. I finished volume 24. So I have 21 to 25 at the moment. I am up to chapter 236. A lot better than I thought it would be. Because a lot of people talk shit about My Hero Academia for being generic, which is fine. That's understandable, right? But the art in the manga is really good. I was a little disappointed by the 4th season of the anime, but what can you do, really? Although I am excited for how they adapt the next season, because there's a lot of high octane action in the following manga. If you're up to date with it, you know what I'm talking about. I do kind of look forward to it, but I don't have my expectations very high considering what they did last season. The manga is good. The manga is really good, despite what people say. Now next I have Millennium Snow. I bought these really cheap as well. These were literally, someone was selling both of these for $10. all up. It's volume 1 to 4. It's also another short series, but it's also by the same person who made Ouran High School Host Club, which was one of the anime I watched growing up. Probably doesn't seem like it, but that did happen. And then it sounded very intriguing. I've forgotten all about what it's about. Yeah, when I get around to reading it, I will know what it's about. And then there's Nana. I literally just got this the other day. This is just about two girls who both have the name Nana, and one of them's like a punk rocker, and the other one's like a normal ass girl. And then they meet, and they're like, "You guys, we're not too different, you and I." But yeah, anyways, more stuff. I've decided to go with this setup for the rest of the video. I forgot to mention this. This is Hikaru no Go. I got this the other day, not too long ago as well. Next, this is called Not Your Idol. It should be Goodbye Miniskirt because the Japanese name is Sayonara Miniskirt. Yeah, this is an interesting shoujo. It's about this girl who was an ex-idol. She was in an idol group. She was like known for being like the star of the idol group. But then one day at a handshaking meeting, she got stabbed by obsessive fan or, a mystery, like a psychopath or something. It was very interesting. I have volume 2. I haven't read it yet, but volume 1 definitely left off on a cliffhanger. Very interesting mystery, suspenseful shoujo. It does have pretty cliche themes. Then again, most shoujo tend to start off pretty cliche and then branch off into all these other themes. So this might just be one of those examples of it. Yeah, she basically, ever since the day she was stabbed, she turns into she like becomes and acts like a boy to like distance herself from all those idol influences. Super hateful towards, I won't even say it's sexist. It's literally sexist to like both genders. It shows a very pessimistic approach to high school kids. Forgotten what other anime is like that. Oh, yeah, Flowers of Evil. Flowers of Evil was like that. This is not really like Flowers. This is not like Flowers of Evil. It's really not that deep. Yet. I don't know. I haven't gotten much into it. This is like a brand new series. I went to the bookstore the other day to buy volume 2, so I will get onto that at some point. But yeah. It doesn't even have a rating on my anime list, which is funny. Because there is plenty of people talking about it. But obviously not a lot of people are rating it, I guess. Yeah, but it's pretty interesting from what I've read. Next I have is Gekkan Shoujo Nozaki-kun, or Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun. I bought volumes 6 to 8 because I've already watched the anime. I'm going through the rest of it online at the moment. But yeah, no, it is hilarious. It is I haven't watched a lot of comedy anime because normally comedy anime are not really funny. Not exactly the funniest works ever, but so far, from what I've seen, Gekkan Shoujo Nozaki-kun is definitely the funniest anime I have ever seen. It's based off this, which is a 4-comma manga, so obviously a lot of them don't take themselves seriously. It's almost like a meta shoujo, because it's a shoujo, right? But it's almost like a parody. It's got some really unique characters. All around, it's just great. I'm yet to read ahead. I'm still obviously getting through it. Would recommend the anime for sure. Next, Ouran High School Host Club. I have the entire series. I have not started reading it yet. Funny story about this one. What I did initially was someone online was selling volume 1 to 14 for about either $40 or $50, right? And I was like, that's a steal. So I bought them, waited a few weeks before I saw someone selling 15 to 18. But the best offer I could get was like $40 for the last 4 volumes. It cost me about $80 to $100 to get all of these volumes. And then literally like as 15 to 18 arrive, like a day or 2 later, I go onto the Facebook Marketplace and someone's selling the box set of the Viz Media copies, because I have a mix-up of Chung Hai and Viz. Someone's selling the box set for them for $50. $50. And I died inside. I died a little inside. So while I'm sure it's worth the $100, I really could have gotten them for cheaper price and not had to worry about these fucking cases like I complained about before. Although most of them seem to be in really good condition, like immaculate condition, because I smell them. and they smell like fresh paper. They smell like fresh paper. Something I need to get onto. I don't remember a lot about it, to be honest. I don't remember a lot about the anime. I do plan to rewatch the anime because I watched it as a kid. Yeah, and then I realized the anime didn't finish the whole manga, so I was like, I'll read it and watch it at some point. Don't know when that's going to be, to be honest, but I am remaining hopeful that I will get to it one day. Actually, yeah, I'll put that after I talk about One Piece. One Piece is, I don't know how good it is. Alright, Ultraman. This is a series I was talking about before that I was thinking of making a video of. Obviously, I only have volume 1 to 5. There's 18 volumes. If I can, I will. And I will. I can assure you, I will buy the rest of them. Because from what I've read from volume 1 to 5, it is amazing. And that's only 1 to 5, and it's a shoujo. So I can only expect good from here on out. It's about a guy who outwardly is very manly and does karate, or not karate, judo. He does judo. But on the inside, he's very shy. He's very girly, right? That's where the Ultraman comes from. He has a lot of hobbies that are normally catered towards women. It's probably not as deep as I think it is, but what I get from it is like being who you think you should be, who you not holding anything back and bottling it all up. Because what I think this speaks to just about any dude who questions their role, what they're into, stuff like that. Yeah, no, it's a great series. Really speaks to me. Alright, Platinum End. This is a good show. It's good. It's very depressing. It's about a death game with all the participants being people who plan to have committed suicide. Essentially, they are saved by angels and told by the angels that if they compete in this death game and win, they can become God. Because putting their hands into people who have gone through the depths of their psyches and resolved to try and kill themselves are definitely people who are fit to rule the entire world, of course. But this is made by the same people who made Death Note, if that gives any indication to what this is about. I'd say it's a little more mature than Death Note, but that's not to say that either one is worse. Well, I mean, this one is clearly worse. This is not as good, but if you like Death Note, if you like death games, this is literally right up your alley. I'm not talking shit about Death Note. If I had Death Note, I'd talk about it, because it is one of my favorite manga. This is the first manga I ever read. I should probably talk about those as well. I'm going to just go through them quickly, because I haven't read any of them. But there is Cactus's Secret, Tsukihime, Yu Yu Hakusho, and then Volume 4 of Platinum End. Those are all series I don't know much about, but I will get onto them soon. Yeah, no, Platinum End is good. Not as good as Death Note. Still interesting. Next, Siren. If you're in the manga community, obviously, you probably have heard of Siren. It's Shonen Jump's title that everyone asks why there isn't an anime adaptation for it. It is as good as people say it is. Even though I've only read the first 2 volumes, I am waiting on Volume 3 to arrive. If I'm not mistaken, there is about 12 to 15 volumes of Siren. I do plan on reading the whole thing. It is very, very high octane, very interesting world building. It's not a death game. I guess it's a death game, but it's more like a survival action series. Drawn very well as well. Very, very schmexy. Very schmexy. Jesus Christ, I'm probably the first person to say schmexy in like 5 years. Next, Sayuki. Next, Sweat and Soap. A while ago, before coronavirus, I went to Minotaur. I saw this ad at the front as I was walking out, and I was like, "What is that?" It's probably what you're thinking. It's about armpit. It's not about armpit fetishes. The main character is a girl who works in the economical facility of a perfume company. She has a run-in with the person who makes the smells, who is very addicted to smelling shit. Basically, wholesome softcore hentai, which is poggers. Very tasteful. Next, I have Tomo-chan as a girl. This is 2 and 3, so I think at some point I'll read number 1 online, or if I can get it for a cheap price, I'll read it. But my cousin a while ago non-stop was like, bro, you should read this. It's only got 1-page chapters. But then you realize that like it's at 900 chapters, which 900 pages. Still a bit confronting. All I know about is that it's about a tomboy, and tomboys are pretty cool. Next, we finally got to it. We finally got to a Clamp series. Tsubasa. Next, To Your Eternity. If you're sitting there and after I said that name, you're going, oh no. Yes, you know what I'm talking about. This is made by the same person who made A Silent Voice. It's very sad. Basically teaches you nothing in life is permanent, and we're all gonna die. I don't want to say too much about it, because saying too much about it will probably spoil it. It has an anime coming out next year. I recommend, if you're a little iffy on reading it, probably wait till next year when the anime comes out. Although I would recommend this manga to death. It is amazing. I've read up to volume 5 of it. I don't have volume 2 to 5 because they're at school. I got my school to buy it. Eventually someone will get scarred by it as well. Next series. There's not much I can really say about it. It's Vagabond. You know, the quintessential manga. I've only read volume 1 to 3. I do plan, when I have more money, I do plan to read the rest of it. This is Visbig number 1. There is 37 volumes. It's pretty... If that intimidates you, it shouldn't, because this surprisingly took not as long to read as I thought it would be. It is an artistic masterpiece. There is great story, great art. It literally, like, is the full package, essentially. It's also made by the same guy who made Slam Dunk, and Slam Dunk is also one of the best manga I've ever read. Next, Waiting for Spring. It's a reverse harem about this girl who had a friend in middle school who was good at basketball. And then she got to high school and she was like, yeah, I'm gonna make so much friends. Except for some reason, people just don't like me. She works at a cafe, of which all the starting 5 of a basketball team frequent. And they're like the most popular kids at school. They're all the boys of the boys team, obviously. They're like the most popular kids at school. They're they seem to be guns at basketball. Haven't seen much basketball in it, to be honest, but yeah, they go there every day and they make fun of her at the start, but then they realize she's just a nice person who doesn't try and fuck with their shit. She just exists in their shit. So they tell her that she should be the manager of their basketball team, which she's like, oh yeah, I'll get to know them better. But in reality, all 5 of them are like most likely have a crush on her and shit for literally like nothing, as most shoujo go. But only volume 1. As I said before, volume 1s of shoujo usually a hurdle to jump over in most cases. So at some point, I do plan on reading the rest of it. It's not finished yet, I don't think. So volumes for it might take a while. Great new series. Where the House Husband. Funny as fuck. I metaphorically jizzed the other day when I found out it had an anime adaptation coming out. Don't know when that's supposed to come out, but this shit is hilarious. This is also up there with Nozaki-kun in terms of hilarity. And it's just, there's really not much I can say about it. It's just about some ex-Yakuza member who leaves a life of crime to become a house husband. And hilarity ensues, as it normally does in those kind of premises. Now, the last Japanese series I'm going to talk about, I have one book here left after this, but last one is Your Lie in April. Now, I haven't read this yet. Last one I have here is a Philip K. Dick book. Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? If you know Blade Runner, this is what it's based off. Loosely based off. I haven't read it yet. Alright. Well, my concerns of it being filled up have now alleviated. My case over there is now completely empty. And this one still has spaces in it. So that's great. That's great news. In fact, I have more manga coming that I'm waiting on. I could do a manga haul if that's what people want. I say I might do a manga haul all those kind of things, but that's not exactly what I want my content to be. I do plan on branching out other than this, but this is just a startup again, because I did used to make videos on this channel, but most of them were just low effort gameplay, whatnot. But I do plan to make, anime videos, music video, not my music, but I do plan to talk about that kind of thing. But what's really been lacking recently is a lot of motivation. I have not really found the resolve to try and make videos, but with this, I think I can ease into it. Again, I'm sure if I get into the habit of thinking of stuff, I'll eventually somewhat consistently make videos again. But yeah, that should be the end of this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I don't know how long this video will come out to be. You know what? Later I'll have a cinematic view of all my manga. So if anything gets cut out, you can ask me about it in the comments, or maybe if you guys want full videos on them, I can do that if I find enough to talk about. There might be short reviews if you guys want them. That'd be good as well, I think. Thanks for watching. This has been Australian Man number 2. My name's not Joy, but I may as well be. But yeah, anyways, see ya.